second grade. So good to see you again. This week we are going to be diving into adding multiple two-digit numbers. Sometimes we're going to add 2, sometimes we're going to add 3, sometimes we might even add 4 two-digit numbers together. And we're going to use all that we know about adding just 2 to help us add the 3 and the 4 numbers together. I'm excited to see what strategies we start to use this week. Let's go ahead and get our target started, and then we'll dive into our lesson. I can add several two-digit numbers using multiple strategies. There's a couple words in here that I want to make sure we talk about. We spent a lot of time talking about a two-digit number, and we know that a two-digit number has a tens place and a ones place. It just has 2 digits. The tens place is worth 10, the ones place is worth 1. But as we add these numbers together, I see right before that two-digit number, it says several. Several just means more than 1, maybe even more than 2. Several means multiple, okay? And then we also see that word multiple coming down here. We're using multiple strategies. That means we're not just going to share one strategy. We're not just going to share 2. We might share 3, and we're going to be naming those strategies today, tomorrow, the next, and the next day. So for the next 4 days, we're really going to be naming those strategies as we do our work. We may be writing them on our charts, or may just be talking about that together. Now, our story today, in fact, I have a chart up here, or what we call a table. And a table is a way of collecting and showing our information. It makes me think of our graphs, our graphing work that we did, what we've done so far this year in second grade. And this chart, or this table, is a way of organizing information about kids going on a field trip. In fact, there's a principal at an elementary school, and he is organizing this fantastic field trip to the zoo. Now he's only bringing his first, second, and third graders. But before he or she, can take these kiddos on the field trip, they have to first figure out how many first graders, how many second graders, and how many third graders are there that are going to be going. Because there's all sorts of things you have to know to go on a field trip. So our job today is going to be to figure out how many kids are going on this field trip. Now before we do that work, let's first take a peek at this table and see what it tells us. What do you notice about the information on this table? Yes, I see those grades too. There's first, second, and third grade. That heading at the top, grade, lets us know what this represents. What else do you notice about this table? Oh, there's a class A and a class B. Yes, there is. There are actually 2 classes for each grade. That means there's a class A and class B for first grade, a class A and a class B for second grade, a class A and a class B in third grade. What else do you notice? What is missing on this chart or this table? The total number of students going to the zoo in first, second, and third grade, right? That part of the table is blank, and that tells us that we need to fill something in, right? So let's help this principal figure out how many kids are going on this trip. Now, I'd like to start first with our first grade. If we do all of it, it gets really overwhelming. So we're going to do a grade at a time and think about the strategies that we're using to help us add these numbers together. Let's first take a peek at just first grade. In fact, I'm going to put my hand up here and cover this up. What do you notice about the information in first grade? There's 48 kids in class A, 35 kids in class B. I'm going to take my marker and we're going to jot those numbers down. 48 and 35. What's an equation we can write to match or to help us add or help us find out how many kids there are in first grade total? What are we going to do? We're going to put a plus sign here and a box for this unknown. In fact, if we were to put a plus sign here, there's our box for the unknown right there in our table. All right, second grade, I want you to see if you can use this equation and your strategies that you know to help you put these numbers together. Go ahead and solve. Where is your 48 in your model? Where's your 35? How did you break these numbers up? Why did you break them up into tens and ones? I noticed you borrowed some numbers from 35 and added them to the 48. Why did you do that? Why does making a 10 help you? How does making a 10 help you solve this? Oh, I see you counting on. Where are you starting when you're counting on? And when you start there, what are you counting on by? That doesn't look like ones. Why are you counting on by tens? Oh, and how many groups of 10 are you going to count on by? And why is that? There's 3 tens and 35. Remember, as you're at home, I want you to go ahead and pause our video if you need to. We're going to start showing our thinking, and you may play it as soon as you are done doing your work, and then you can check in and see how your work matches ours. Okay, what did we do first? Why did you draw 4 tens and 8 ones? It represents that 48. What did you do next? And how many ones did you draw for 35? Okay, drew 5 ones. All right, what did you do next? You did something a little interesting, something different than what we've seen in the last couple of days as we've worked together. Why did you take 2 away from that 35 and circle it? Oh, because it made a 10. So what did you write beneath your line? And how does that match the work that you did? We have our 40 and our 30, which makes 70, our 10, and then you have 3 left over. And so what was your total? And where is your 83 coming from? 70 and 10 makes 80, and then 3 makes 83. Wiggle waggle if you did something similar to this. What is the benefit of circling up that 10 as we're solving and figuring out this work? It's so much easier when we make a 10, isn't it? Can I have someone else share their work? This one's a number line. Using a number line can help us solve this so nicely. Where did you start on your number line? Okay, and what did you do? And when you added 30, what did you get? What did you land on? Okay, so if you were having a hard time making that big jump of 30, you could even say 48, 58, 68, 78. But you also know that 4 plus 3 equals 7. So 48 plus 30 is going to be 78. And then what did you do? Did a little jump of 2. Why did you do a little jump of 2? It gets you to that friendly number. And then what? You needed to jump 3 more. And why did you know that? How did you know that you needed to jump 3 more? You had 32, 33, 34, 35. You needed to add 35 on. And when you added 3 more, what did you land on? 83. So where's your 48 in this work? Okay, your starting point and all those numbers before that. And where's your 35? Right here, we have our 30, and then 2 plus 3 is 5, so you add 35 there. And landed on 38. How are these 2 pieces of work the same? We know they're different, right? One's using a number line, one's using our base 10 blocks. But how are they the same? Where are they making a 10 at the top? Adding that 8 and that 2 at the top, we see that's making a 10. Where are they making a 10? Down at the bottom on that number line. Oh, when they go to 78, they're making 2 jumps to 80, and then they're making the extra jumps. Making a 10, making that friendly number, is such an easy way to add 2-digit numbers together. Awesome work. I've got one more strategy I want to share, and then we will move on to 2nd grade. How does that sound? This friend, you didn't write any equations. You didn't draw a picture. You did a lot of counting in your head. Tell me what you drew or wrote on your paper to show what you did in your head. Okay, so you started at 48. And why did you start at 48? Okay, because that's the bigger number. That makes sense. Did anybody else start at 48 when they were counting? All right. And what did you do next? 58, 68, 78. And then what did you say? Why did you say 79, 80? Okay, you keep going and then I'll ask. 81, 82, 83. Okay, talk to me about this. I'm curious. What is this friend thinking? I see your 48 in your work, but where's your 35? 10, 20, 30. And then where's your 5? 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. There's your 30 and your 5, so 35. Talk to me, friends. What do you notice about this, about when this person is counting? They are starting counting by 10s, 58, 68, 78, and that 10's place is changing, but the 1's place is staying the same. And then what do you notice? They start counting by 1s after that. So 1 more than 78 is going to be 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. So how many first graders are going on this field trip? Ah, yes, 83 students. And where am I going to put that on my table? Right up here. All right, so there's 83 first graders going on the field trip. Can I have you all write an equation to show me what equation would match the work we need to do to find out about 2nd grade? Write an equation that would show me how you're going to solve to find the total number of 2nd graders going on this field trip. Tell me what you wrote. And why does 53 plus 39 equal blank? How does that help you find the number of 2nd graders? 53 plus 39 equals that total, right? When we add, we're finding the total number. All right, so then let's see how we might be able to use some of these strategies where we're making a 10 to help you solve this problem, or that you're just breaking it up into 10s and 1s to help you solve. Go ahead and start solving. And why did you write your 50, like 50 plus 3? Which one of these are you doing? Are you making a 10? Or are you using that place value to help you solve that when you write it like that? And how does that show that you're using place value? Breaking up into 10s and 1s. Wonderful. Can I have you share this strategy here in just a moment? Wonderful. I see you using that number line. It looks like you're doing something very similar to what our other friend did right here. What did you do that made it easier to add? You made a 10. That's so smart. I noticed that you just borrowed 1 from 53. Why did you borrow 1 from 53? To make a 10. All right, friends, coming together. Remember at home, as always, pause and resume us as soon as you are ready to show your thinking. I'm going to have my friend over here talk to me about their equation that they wrote. You didn't write it the same way. as this. Tell me what you did. And what are you doing when you were writing that? Breaking it up into tens and ones. There's that place value coming into play, my friends. When we think about a two-digit number, we think about that number having two places, right? The tens place and the ones place. And when we break those up and make you write it in expanded form, we can easily see the tens and the ones and how much they are worth or their value. What did you do next? All right, so when you added 50 plus 30, what did you get? And how did you know that was 80? Okay, so 5 plus 3 is 8. So 5 tens plus 3 tens equals 8 tens. And 8 tens is worth 80, all right? And then what did you do over here? Right, you know 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, and then what was your total number? How did you get 92 if there's only an 8 here? You had to add that tens place. 8 tens and 1 10 is 9 tens. Okay, so 92. Who else got 92? Wiggle waggle. Ooh, not everybody did it this way. Can I share one other way that somebody solved this? This is really interesting. So you wrote your equation the same as we had up there, but you did something kind of different. What did you do? You took 1 away from 53. Why did you do that? So when you take 1 away from 53 and you put it over there, all of a sudden you have a group of 10. Okay, and so what do you have right here? Looks like you're just moving some numbers around, readjusting them. So then how does this help you solve this? Oh, so you know 5 tens and 4 tens is 9 tens. 2 ones plus 0 ones is 2 ones. Ooh, we can just move our numbers around just a little bit, can't we, my friends? So how many second graders are going on this field trip all together? All right, 92. Ooh, do we have more first graders or second graders going on the field trip so far? We have more second graders. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, last step, and then you guys are going to have a little bit of a job, okay? So let's take a peek at our third graders. What equation will we write to match this work if we're finding out the total number? You guys can tell me all together. 24 plus 47 equals blank. All right, friends. So listen to me very carefully. First of all, you might find that you want to make a 10, okay? So when you make a 10 or go to that friendly number, you're doing it here, you're doing it here, okay? So we're finding that friendly number in that little sign represents the number. We're finding a friendly number with our first one. Over here, we are we're using our place value, but then we're also redistributing or moving a number over to make a 10 over here. Making that 10 makes it a little bit easier to add, doesn't it? And so we're just taking 1 from one number and adding it there. Now we don't want to forget that this number will go away. We'll take away 1 when this one adds 1. So we're adding, it's the same thing that we're adding. We're not adding anymore and not taking it away. When we take 1 away and we add 1, we balance it out. And we find that same sum that we did up here. I want you to think about how you can use one of those strategies to help you solve for the total number of third graders. So maybe you're going to use place value. Maybe you will make a friendly number. Maybe you will just redistribute in your equations. Let's see what you get ready to do. Ooh, third grade. How many friends do they have? I noticed with your number line that you made a big jump and then you made a 10. Can I have you write that in equations? Can I have you tell me what each step looked like when you were writing it with equations? You did something very similar with your base 10 blocks, didn't you? Looking at that place value. Look at that equation. When you're doing that, how are you showing place value when you break that equation up? Seeing those 10s and those 1s. All right, 2nd grade. I'm going to put up 2 pieces of work, and I want you to tell me what you think this friend did. So I'm going to show it. You're going to watch, and you're going to think, what did they do to solve this problem? Okay, so let me draw this up here. Make sure I do it right, okay, friend? All right, starting at 47. Okay, one more. Hold tight. All right, what do you notice, friends? What did these kiddos do? Found that friendly number, didn't they? 47 to 50. I see where the 47 is. Where is the 24 in this person's work? 3 and 1 is 4, and then there's 20, so there's that 24. Finding that friendly number makes it so much easier to add. So when you're finding a friendly number to get to 10, then you can add 10s easily, and then you just need to add that 1 more. What about this friend's work? They're using place value. They're also looking at, and they're using that place value to pull that 10 out, aren't they? So they added their 10s. When they added their 1s, what did you notice? It is more than 10, isn't it? So they're breaking it up into 10 and 1, so they see 70 and then 71, which is a lot like what this friend did here too, right? They just didn't expand it quite as much. This friend expanded that 11. This friend just looked at those numbers in the 10s place, using that place value again to help them see what they were doing. And so how many friends were in 3rd grade? Oh, 2nd grade, you have a task leaving our group today. I've got some different problems for you to work out, and I want you coming back to this public record and seeing, what am I going to do to help me solve this? I'd like to see you using place value for at least one of them. I'd like to see you making a friendly number, making that 10 to solve at least one of them. And then you can do whatever you want on the others. Figure out which one works best for you. Notice I did this first, but we started moving into looking at those equations as we went. So challenge yourself to try out some different models to show your thinking. Happy solving!